Ladies and gentlemen, let's get real for a second. Complaining is the easiest thing in the world to do. You don't need a degree. You don't need discipline. You don't even need courage. You just need lungs and a mouth. But here's the truth. Complaining is like sitting in a rocking chair. Lots of motion is zero progress. It feels like you're doing something, but in reality, you're stuck in the same spot, burning energy with nothing to show for it. Now, why do we complain? Because it's safe, it's comfortable, it gives us the illusion of control without demanding responsibility. But comfort zones are not where growth happens. Growth happens in the uncomfortable, in the stretch, in the moments where you decide, I'm done telling the story of why I can't, and I'm ready to create the story of how I will. Every time you complain, you reinforce the problem. You're feeding it. You're watering the weeds instead of planting seeds. And guess what grows? More frustration, more excuses, more of the same. But when you choose growth, you flip the script. Growth says, I may not have the answer yet, but I'm resourceful enough to find it. Growth says, the obstacle in front of me is not a wall, it's a stepping stone. Growth says life doesn't happen to me, it happens for me. You want motivation? Here it is your future is not waiting for you to get done complaining. Your future is waiting for you to step up, to take ownership, to embrace the discomfort of growth. Because let's face it, growth is painful. Change is uncomfortable. But so is staying the same. The difference is one pain leads to progress, the other leads to regret. Think of a muscle. How does it grow? You put it under stress. You tear the fibers. And in that micro tearing with proper recovery, the muscle rebuilds stronger, bigger, more powerful. Life is no different. When challenges tear at you, when setbacks stretch you thin, that's your opportunity to rebuild stronger if you stop complaining and start asking. What's the lesson here? How can I use this? Let me challenge you right now. Imagine where your life will be in 1 year if you eliminate complaining. Imagine replacing every complaint with one powerful action. Instead of, I hate my job, you start building skills that make you indispensable. Instead of, I never have enough time, you restructure your priorities. Instead of, I can't lose weight, you commit to daily habits that align with your vision. Do you see the difference? Complaints chain you to the problem. Growth frees you into a possibility. So here's the decision point. Are you going to stay stuck rehearsing the same old complaints? Or are you going to break through, rewrite your story, and step into the version of yourself that's been waiting all along? The power is in you. Stop complaining, start growing, and watch your life transform. Complaining keeps you stuck. Growth moves you forward. Think about it. Every complaint is like hitting the pause button on your life. You're focused on what's wrong, replaying the same frustrations. And in that moment nothing changes. Complaining creates the illusion of activity, but it's not progress. It's a cycle of negative energy that convinces you the problem is bigger than it actually is. And the more you feed it, the stronger it grows. People get addicted to complaining because it feels like release. It's easy, it's comfortable, and it gets attention. But the truth is while you're venting, you're not moving, you're digging yourself deeper into the same hole. Growth, on the other hand, demands something different. It asks you to take responsibility. It forces you to step out of the story of limitation and into the story of possibility. Growth doesn't deny that problems exist. It simply refuses to let those problems be the final word. Instead of saying, this is unfair, growth asks, what can I learn? How can I adapt? What's the next move I can take That mindset shifts you from being a victim of circumstances to being the creator of change. When you choose growth, you're choosing movement, even if it's small steps. Complaining is static. It's like standing in front of a locked door and yelling at it for being closed. Growth is trying another door, finding the key, or even building a new path altogether. The very energy that used to go into complaining becomes fuel for creative problem solving. And that's the real difference. One keeps you locked in the past, the other moves you toward the future you actually want. Growth doesn't just change what you do, it changes who you become. Replace excuses with action and challenges become opportunities. Excuses are comforting because they protect us from the fear of failure. They allow us to rationalize why things aren't working out, why we're not where we want to be, and why our dreams feel so far away. But excuses also keep us powerless. Every time you say, I can't because you're handing over your authority to the obstacle in front of you, you're declaring the barrier stronger than your will. That mindset locks you in a cage built from your own words. Action, on the other hand, flips the script. Action doesn't wait for the perfect moment or flawless conditions. It begins now with what you have, where you are. Even small steps forward carry momentum. And momentum is the enemy of excuses. When you take action, you shift your focus from limitation to possibility. The very act of moving breaks the illusion that you're stuck. Suddenly, the same challenge that felt overwhelming becomes a proving ground for your resourcefulness. Challenges are inevitable. Life will always throw resistance your way. But here's the truth: resistance is what builds strength. Action transforms resistance into growth. Instead of an obstacle, you begin to see a training partner pushing you to get better, faster, stronger. That mindset turns frustration into fuel and setbacks into stepping stones. The people who grow, who create impact, who change their lives, are not the ones who never face problems. They're the ones who stop explaining why it can't be done and start proving how it can. The difference between being trapped and being unstoppable is simple. It's the choice to act. Remember this? Don't let your excuses define your future. Let your actions design it.